Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Monday evening. Welcome to the Unpacking the Baggage podcast, a special edition. I know you guys are wondering why you guys are seeing me on a Monday night, right? I mean, you normally don't get to see me on a Monday night. And obviously, my viewerships are down because they're used to seeing me on Sunday. But we've got a special edition and we have a special reason to come on Monday night. Okay, let me first of all pay my bills, and then I'll introduce my guest. I am looking for sponsors for the Unpacking the Baggage podcast. We have over 100,000 streams a month. And if you have a product, if you own a business and you would like to advertise your business or your product on this great, what up, that damn hound? I see you, boy, Chandra Young. I got to go ahead and shout y'all out. Tia, I see y'all. If you want to advertise your business on this dope ass podcast, I can tell you all you have to do, it's very affordable. It's very inexpensive to talk to these 100,000 plays that we have every month. Okay. Contact myself. Okay. You can call me at 501 650 9726. The number again, 501 650 9726. Or you can send an email to unpacking the baggage podcast lr@gmail.com. Okay. Unpacking the baggage podcast lr@gmail.com. Now, I don't normally come on a Monday. Okay. But I've got a special edition we're on for a special cause, and I'm going to explain to you why. Okay. Before we start, I need the small amount of people that are on here to share this live. Okay. What up, Deb, that damn ham? I enjoyed kicking it with you on Sunday night. Let me shout out some people who are on here. Tammy Hampton, I see you're on here. Tammy, I need you to share this live. Travis Browning, I need you to share the live. Tanisha Ross, I need you to share it. Ronald Talley, please share the live. Shan, I need you to share my live, Shan. Okay. Share my live and then put shared in the comment and I will shout you out, okay? So that we can get our viewerships up for tonight. Now, tonight, I need to introduce my guest. I'm your host, B-Level. I'm a host of the show, but I've got a special guest that was on 2 days ago, which was Sunday, and I need to introduce her again, okay? Her name is Deja Johnson. Get my sound effects. She likes when I do the sound effects, right, Deja? She likes when I do the sound effects. Now, let me bring you up to speed as to what's up, Shannon Streets. I see you, baby. I see you shared it. Let me tell you the reason why we've got this special edition that we normally don't broadcast on Monday. We normally broadcast on Sunday. But we have been following this situation that happened to Deja on Friday at the Salt Bowl, okay? And Sunday when we came on, we shared with you that Deja was at the War Memorial Stadium attending or trying to attend the Salt Bowl. And then, in fact, Deja, let me just let you explain what happened and the reason why we're back on tonight to talk about. So just go over what happened to you Sunday for the people that did not watch the podcast on Sunday.
Yeah, so long story short, I had a TikTok video that I posted on Saturday that went super viral regarding an incident that happened at War Memorial Stadium at the Salt Bowl on Friday night. Trying to get into the game. On the way into the game, I observed a young man who was arrested. The young man appeared to be like a teenager, no more than 15, 16 years old. He was being escorted out as I was going in. No problem. Business as usual. Something transpired. The young man went down to the ground and he started yelling, "I can't breathe." That triggered me because that is something that we have seen played out in the news before. So similar situation, it was jarring, it was alarming, and it was triggering. So I took out my phone to start recording, as I have a civil liberty and right to do. At a reasonable distance, a crowd had gathered. Lots of people were watching this kind of incident unfold, and I pulled out my camera. You will see if you looked at the video, and I think Brian posted it previously as well here on Facebook. It's also on my page. The officer approaches me and takes my phone from me, stops the recording, and starts to yell at me and tell me to leave or go to jail. So that is the summary of what happened. Again, it went super viral on TikTok. We were trying to find out who he was. because I didn't ask for his name or his badge number because it was already a tense and hostile situation. I didn't feel comfortable to ask him for identifying information. And in the moment, it was so chaotic. It didn't even like dawn on me to try and look at a badge. I was
Right.
just trying to diffuse the situation. So went to TikTok, asked, who this person was. It was reposted and shared several times on TikTok, and several people contacted me identifying who they thought the officer was.
Okay, so before we get into that, I want to go ahead and for the people that did not see the podcast on Sunday who was watching it, I'm going to give you the short version of what happened. I'm going to play Adaja's TikTok that she put that went viral. Okay, and it's not long at all. I think it's like a minute and a half long. So I'm going to show you, and then we're going to come back and talk further. Okay, here's the video that she posted on TikTok that went viral about what happened at the Salt Bowl this past Friday night.
So y'all, I am at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock, Arkansas. I need y'all to do y'all's thing, TikTok. This is what just happened at the game.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
I started recording, and he was a high school young football kid. I was recording as I felt needed to do, obviously. Then the officer came at me aggressively and took my phone. Like, I thought he was about to break my phone, y'all. I got so shook up and discombobulated. Like, he got in my face. Like, do what you do. Help me find this officer to help hold him accountable, because it's unacceptable.
Leave.
All of this commotion.
Leave.
Jesus.
I told you to leave.
Ooh, Jesus. I thought I was going to where the tickets were. I was recording it. Ooh, Jesus. Where's the tickets? That's all I'm trying to get to.
I don't know, and we done bought tickets, so how?
Right, where do we go with tickets?
We bought tickets.
We got tickets. Which way do we go if we have a ticket?
Yeah, he just kicked you out.
Is that what happened? I wasn't sure what was happening.
Yeah, he kicked you out.
Well,
I didn't even get in.
for a ticket, cause
I'm like, I didn't even get in though.
And
I didn't even get in. So
well, we're gonna try and get in.
my
We
tickets
have
are
our
on my
ticket.
phone. Like, my tickets are literally on my phone.
He was just upset, but we going in.
He heard she can't come in. He ejected her.
Ejected me from
He
what?
before we can get in, sir.
Sir, she was ejected, right?
No, you can, but you need to listen. I told you to stop and move, and you didn't, did you?
I was confused.
No, I was directly looking at you, telling you what to do, and instead of doing what I told you, you kept the phone in my face. So go in.
My phone
Stop
was
talking.
Ooh.
You either leave or go in the seat and sit down.
That's where we're trying to go. We're trying to come and sit down.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
trying
you're
to get
not.
into
You're
the
trying to
game.
Come on, go.
I'm trying to get into the game.
Okay, you gotta.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Go. Keep it moving. Go. Keep it moving.
Then on top of all this, I got ejected from a game that I never even entered. Then finally, everything calmed down, and they were like, okay, well, just go show your tickets, let you get in. By the time we got in, well, you're on the wrong side. You have to go to the other side. So we just walked around to the other side of the stadium only to get here to be told they're no longer allowing entry in. And on top of that, they're rude.
I don't care that we wasted money.
And then, so my question is, okay, well, how do I contact about getting my money back? Oh, I don't know. Just like very, very, like, no regard, very nonchalant, no regard at all. So long story short, just now leaving the game, and my issue is this, and the reason why I recorded this in the first place is because I'm not finna sit up here and act like we don't live in 2014 when you almost have to be a social activist. Like, the only thing I could think seeing that young man on the ground like that was, with no parents, no adults around, what if that was my son? What if that was Major or Messiah King or Kingston and I wasn't around and that boy seriously got an injury or something? I would want somebody to be able to have documented that so that I can step up and have proof. Another thing is, I wonder if they had their body camera on. Right. Because here's my issue. This is a moment and not to get on a soapbox, but this is a real teachable moment about what we need to do about police reform. Anger begets anger. So that is not like you being angry and coming at somebody aggressively, that is going to yield that type of behavior. So we need to think about how to de-escalate a situation and what's the best way to de-escalate a situation. The reason that Officer Anger couldn't police and do his job and catch criminals who are out there doing physical harm to other people is because when he saw me recording a behavior that he didn't want to be recorded, I became a threat to himself. So again, you coming at somebody aggressively like that, like you had no reason to be aggressive with me, and he was verbally and physically aggressive with me. And if his body cam footage was on, then that will be evident with me standing with my hands up and simply asking questions. So accountability needs to be had. So that is the reason why I am posting this video. That is the reason why I would like to see, is this an issue that needs to be investigated? Because that is not how you de-escalate a situation involving a child. So
Okay, that's the version of what was played on TikTok on the recalculation of what happened on Friday night. Now, Deja, when you came there, did you see the little, was he hurt? Were they physically roughing him up? Did they just have him in handcuffs? What was going on with when you arrived on the situation?
Yeah, like I said, we were entering into the game, minding our own business. So it was just kind of like an interaction in passing. When I was going into the stadium, I saw them coming out. It was like 3 or 4 officers to one young man.
Okay.
And they had him in handcuffs. And I understand that, oftentimes it is procedure to have at least one other officer present, right? I get
Right.
that. However, when the young man went to the ground, and I don't remember seeing how he got to the ground. I just remember him going to the ground, or maybe even I turned around and just saw him on the ground after I heard him yelling and screaming, "I can't breathe."
Okay.
And what triggered me about that was not only did I see the young man on the ground, but I saw this officer over him, standing over him, like bent down over him, crouched over him, yelling in his face.
Okay.
So that was jarring. That was jarring.
So how many other people stopped? Were you the only person that stopped while this was going on?
People stopped. Like, there were crowds of people that stopped and gathered to watch, because you seeing this playing out in real time. You seeing something that we've seen on the news with George Floyd and Sonia Massey and countless others. You see this play out on the news, but I've never seen it play out in real life in my own backyard before my very eyes. So that was literally the whole reason for me pulling out the video camera, just because I'm just like, for one, he's a child. There were several people there, but there was nobody coming up to his aid.
Okay.
There didn't appear to be like a parent or an adult with him that was advocating for him.
Yeah.
So in my mind, all I was thinking was, even if it was me, that's a scary position to be in. So when somebody's yelling and screaming for help and I can't breathe, I'm just like, the only thing I can do and the only thing that I have a right to do is to record. And I was at a reasonable distance, and that is exactly what I did.
Okay. And so when you pulled out the phone, obviously he latched in onto you because you were the only one, or did other people film as well or not?
I don't know. Honestly, Brian, I couldn't tell you because I wasn't looking around at other people, and it all happened so fast. I just pulled out my phone and started recording. And as I'm recording and looking through the phone, I see the officer making a beeline towards me, which in the moment, it didn't dawn on me that he was coming towards me. Because like I said, it wasn't just me standing up there single-handedly by myself. There were crowds, dozens and dozens of other people who were there, like witnessing this, play out.
And he comes towards you, gets angry, and he actually takes physical possession of your phone.
My phone.
Okay.
He takes my phone.
And we heard him talking, saying, "I told you to leave. You had this phone in my face. You either leave or go." Did you actually get in the game?
We did not get in the game. The crazy thing is, he told me, or he told someone, that I was not allowed to go into the game, because once I got up to the gate and tried to present my tickets, the lady who was at the ticket counter, who was not an officer, was not affiliated with law enforcement, she let everybody else in my party go in, and she was like, "Y'all can go in, but she can't go in." He ejected her, and it was just like, for what? Like, on what basis? What was the basis of me not being able to enter the game? What was the basis of you taking my phone? Because again, I have a right to
To
record, as long
record,
as I'm
right?
not, you know,
That's your
interfering
constitutional
with the
right.
process.
Yeah, that's your constitutional right to be able to record as long as you're not impeding on the arrest. Okay, the people that are coming on, I've got about 40 people in my live. Can you please share this live? Share this live. We're doing a special edition of the Unpacking the Baggage podcast. Normally, we're on Sunday evening, okay? We're coming on to follow this story, and we're doing a special edition, and we have some other things and issues that we need to talk about. So if you're just coming on, please share the live and put shared in the comment, and I'm going to shout you out, okay? Normally we don't come on Monday, so I need help getting this out to the masses. Okay, so when you came on, back to the story, when you came on yesterday, this was Sunday. All right, I posted, and you and I posted this officer face, and we tried to identify who this officer was, right? And then you came back, and I guess someone must have sent you who they thought he was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so on Sunday, we posted, somebody had sent you what they thought this officer name was, right?
Several people.
You shared it with me. You shared it with me, and we posted it, okay? Then this morning on the follow-up, this was the first day, Tuesday, of the Arkansas State Police being open. So tell us what you did this morning.
Yeah, so obviously, it was a holiday weekend, so I probably could have filed a complaint online or over the phone or something. Actually, I did try over the weekend, and all I got was answering services. So someone suggested to me to wait until the next business day and go in person. I know people personally in law enforcement, and I was given contact names and kind of steps to take. So thus the reason why I didn't get to the ASP headquarters until this morning. When I went in this morning and spoke with the lieutenant who heads up the professional standards and conduct department, he had seen the video several times. It had been sent to him, and so he identified who the officer was in the video, and it was confirmed to me that it was not the person that I believed it to be, based on the comments and who everyone said he was on TikTok. And again,
okay, so let me share. Hold on, I want to just stop you right there. So basically, the person that you told me it was on Sunday and identified that trooper on Sunday, it was not him. So you found out who the trooper name was. And obviously, did you have to show him the physical video, or did he had already seen the video, so he already knew who the officer was, right?
I went in and he told me, like, when I went to file my complaint, he said his name to me, and I was just like, "Who are you talking about?" And he was just like, "This is the officer in the video," and I was just like, "Is that who that is?" I said, "Several people contacted me and sent me pictures and videos and other incidences involving an officer by the name of Jason Haney." I said, "So that was who I had."
Jacob Haney.
Jacob Haney.
Okay.
I said, "So that was who I had presumed it to be." He was just like, "No, this is actually Officer Dakota Bailey." And he notified me that he was a supervisor over like the other sheriffs or troopers or whatever. I can't remember exactly what their titles were, but yeah, he is in a position of leadership.
So you learned today that the person that you shared with me, and I actually shared it out on the podcast, was not the person that had the incident on Friday. Now, we do need to clear that the person that we shared with you, which is this guy, Jacob Haney, we played a video. All right. I played a video where he was seen arresting someone, and he was using the N-word. So I need to stop. And that's one of the reasons why we're coming back on to do this special edition, because obviously, me having this platform, I have the responsibility to give great information, give vetted information out. And that was not done because that was the information that was provided by you. Okay. So we felt like it was needed, even though this officer, this trooper, Jacob Haney, did an awful thing in arresting somebody and using the N-word several times, which we're going to play later on in this podcast. But I want to deal with the specific situation that happened at the Salt Bowl, which was the reason why we were talking to you, which was the reason why we were coming to try to find out who this officer was. His name is Dakota Bailey, and he is a supervisor with the Arkansas State Police. And obviously they look alike because people thought that, the Jacob Haney guy.
Again, several people sent it to me. Even other media sources inboxed me and sent this information to me. And again, my whole purpose in posting the video on TikTok in the first place, the call to action for that was to help me find out who this is. So, the general public, and actually, since then, I've had other names to come up. People, even as of today, people have been confirming, or not confirming, but people have been sending me different officers' names and saying, this is who this officer is. Although I had already had it confirmed by Arkansas State Police of who it actually was. People, as recent as 20 minutes ago, are still sending me names of officers, including, Officer Haney and others.
Yeah, so I've had some people that we gave them a call of action, right? We asked them to, one, identify the young man that was arrested, and you still, to my knowledge, from us talking today, you still don't know who that young man is who got arrested. Two, we asked them to try to share the video, okay? We wanted that information to get out, and we're still asking you to do that. And then third, we asked you to, as of today, to call the Arkansas State Police to make a complaint. And doing that, we found out that person that I had put up that used the N-word, which is a different trooper from the person that had gotten in contact with you on Friday. Those are two different people, okay?
Two different people, same agency, same misconduct, and unethical, unprofessional, unconstitutional behavior, in my opinion. So one
absolutely
doesn't negate the other. They just happen to be two separate incidences with two separate officers, but it was even jarring to me that you have multiple officers in law enforcement within this agency who are behaving in this manner. So even to me, that almost, like, that doesn't make it better that it wasn't the officer that we originally thought it was. Like, you got other officers out here moving around like that. Like, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, but I guess in all fairness to the officer Jacob Haney, it wasn't fair that we didn't do our homework and do our due diligence, and we put something that we were charging him with that wasn't fair to him, even though he did some awful things. Using the N-word, period, is a terrible thing. And that, but also, in all fairness, and that's why it's up to us, and that's why I came on today to just clear this up, because I've actually removed that whole episode that we did on Friday, because I don't want to be responsible for putting bad information and a bad jacket on somebody that they were not guilty of. I've been the recipient of lies, and so what we did is we basically lied on him, okay? And I don't think that is fair. So I think one of the reasons why we're coming to clear this up is Officer Jacob Haney was not the police officer that you had contact with on Friday. The person that you had that came in contact with you on Friday, his name is Dakota Bailey, okay? And he's a supervisor, okay? And people were even, I seen that you had posted this afternoon, there was some other videos that he had gotten, which we're not going to get into. And if you want to see that video, you can go to Deja Johnson on Facebook.
Research. It's public domain. It's public record. The information was sent to me. So again, it's even it's ironic, and it's disappointing, and it's saddening that I thought it was one officer. It wasn't him. Then when I discovered the officer that it actually was, to see that he also has similar behavior for aggression and, unprofessionalism and misconduct, in my opinion. It's just disappointing all the way around. And it further, in my opinion, leads to the fact that we do need to have a discussion that these type of behaviors, this type of conduct within law enforcement from officers that we entrust to protect and serve us,
Mm-hmm.
this shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't even happen once. But to know that we've talked about 2 cases in the past 2 days, it just kind of leads me to believe, well, who else out here moving like this? How many more are there?
So let me ask you: after you go into the Arkansas State Police, what did they tell you was going to happen to the rightful trooper that had this situation? They told you that you had a right to record, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And that was another reason why I wanted to come back and do another video, because I want to present another call to action to have anybody who is watching this tag the ACLU of Arkansas. They are a nonprofit organization who helps to protect our civil liberties, to the First Amendment and our constitutional rights to use our voices and to record footage of officers, especially when there is misconduct involved. So anybody that's watching this, I want to make a plea to you to tag the ACLU of Arkansas right now, because this should be a movement. We definitely need to have these conversations, and I think it's really important.
And so what did the supervisor tell you that would happen? Did they say they would look into it? They were going to get back to you?
There is going to be an investigation. It is in the process. So what I can say is that it is being investigated. I will know the results of the investigation, but it is a process that may take up to 90 days.
And did they ask you to turn over the video that you had to them, or did they already have it?
It is ongoing. So it is ongoing.
It's ongoing. But,
Yeah.
but you have talked to somebody and someone is looking into it, okay?
Someone
All
is
right.
looking into it, and there are other steps that will take place.
Okay, so if you guys want to call in, I'm going to read some of these comments, but in case you would like to call in, I'm going to open up the information line at 501-650-9726. As I said, I wanted to be very clear that the officer name that I put up yesterday is not the officer, okay? And I want to be, that's why I probably need to be saying alleged all the time, right? And I learned that today, that nothing is confirmed. If you didn't see it your own eyes, you should be saying alleged. So
Yes.
yeah. So I wanted to make sure I didn't want, even though I feel like this Jacob Haney is a bad cop as well, because he has some video, and I'll play it a little bit later, where he uses the N-word. But I still don't want to justify putting any charge on somebody and making anybody guilty of anything that they did not do. And so that's me taking, standing in front of you guys saying, because I didn't see it, it should have been alleged, and that's my bad. But we're going to clear this up. Let me read some of these comments. Brittany Williams is saying, I was told by my daughter that a kid swung on a trooper, and that's why he was getting arrested. So somebody is saying that this kid that you saw actually swung at a state trooper, and that's allegedly. And let me read that, because I did not see that. That's what this person is saying. Nate Baker is saying he definitely need de-escalation training, okay? Brittany is saying they stopped letting folks in at a certain time, which you said you didn't get in. Brittany is also saying it was a kid fighting everywhere, straight chaos. Barbara Davis Mitchell, all because you caught him red-handed abusing his power. I guess they're talking about the video that we had. Brittany Williams is saying, due to the chaos, they weren't letting people in, and the people in the yellow shirt don't even know what they're talking about. LOL, co-workers off the streets. I guess they were just security people that worked at the War Memorial, at the stadium. That damn hound said, I felt like law enforcement should have private insurance, like anesthesiologists have to do. They would make them stop abusing their power. This would save the city and state money after being sued. Finn Stewart says, feels like all of these policemen therapy, because they got the dangerous jobs and they do not know how to speak or talk to anyone. Brittany Williams is saying, so we just gonna forget why we were here in the first place. Them kids was out of control. Parents, stop dropping your kids off. And so I guess Brittany is taking on, you know, I don't know. I don't know what she's saying. Marcella Town Wilson has said he had no rights to touch your property, which is your phone. Dem Damn Hound said, can we say lawsuit? Patricia Moreland is saying it was still messed up for him to get in your face and take your phone, period. Barbara Davis Mitchell is saying, yes, Brittany, yes, but that does not give them right to stop her from recording and ensure the child was not abused. So I don't know if Brittany Williams is saying that the kids were out of control. And I did hear that. Let me say that a lot of people posted when we posted it on Sunday that it was pandemonium out there. Kids were being very disrespectful. And so I don't know if Brittany is justifying. I don't want to put any words in her mouth. You know, Brittany, if you're there and you would like to call in, 501-650-9726. If you were there, you could probably speak on some, or you said your daughter was there. So I don't know if you'd like to call in. If anyone wants to call in, the information line is available. The number again, I'm going to put it in here, 501. Let me put this in here. So if someone wants to call in and have a conversation with us, we can do so. So when he took your phone, I also heard him saying that he had told you to move along, and you were just discombobulated at that time, right? You wasn't really. I mean, you obviously was shocked that this had happened. Of course, shocked enough not to get his badge number or name. But what do you want to happen from this? What would you like to happen from this, Deja?
There are a couple things that I want to happen, Brian. Number one, accountability. Like, if you don't say anything about this, if this is not an issue, then and nobody feels like it's an issue, then your silence is compliance. And this is unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? Just like imagine if it was you, like to have your rights violated in that way. I'm telling y'all, like I was standing up there and I saw the man coming in my direction. I just didn't think he was coming towards me because I was like, why would he be coming towards me?
Right.
Like I'm at a very safe distance. I am not, impeding on the official duties of the officers that were being carried out. I just didn't understand why he came to me and physically took my property from me. So that's number one. That's not acceptable. I have a right to be there. I have a right to record. And that was first and foremost. I want this also to be documented and on file simply because, like I said before, when you see a pattern, and not just with his previous incidents that I was made aware of today, but also the other officers, is this a standard within this agency? Is this I want to know if the Arkansas State Police agrees that this behavior, this conduct was acceptable.
And what did they say to that? Did you not ask them that this morning when you filed the complaint?
I didn't have to ask, but I was informed by the lieutenant of my rights. I was reassured that I do have a right to record. And it was also mentioned, to me that you can clearly see the officer approached me. So when you hear him saying that I was in his face with the camera, you can hear him say that you were standing in my face, you kept the phone in my face. When you hear him say that, that is completely contrary to the facts. The facts are that I was standing at a reasonable distance. The fact, which shows in the video, is that I zoomed in, which further substantiates my claim that I was not close enough to be interfering with the duties that were going on. The facts are that he walked over to me and you can see him. You can count the steps that he took to get towards me. You can also see that the video goes from recording in one spot to picking up in a whole nother spot. So if I didn't have my phone, how do you suppose the recording stopped? And what other information was not retained in that phone? So
right. And to get away, to not get away, but I do want to talk, even though Jacob Haney, the person that we thought was the officer that you had some involvement with on Friday, it was not that same police officer. Your officer was called, his name is Dakota Bailey. Let's fast forward to the video that you was sent where they thought that was the same officer, because I believe that still we as a community still need to out police that are not doing their job effectively. They're over policing us, not under, they're over policing us. I want to go back and I want to talk about this officer, Jacob Haney, even though it has nothing to do with your situation. I do want to go back, and because I have erased the whole episode on YouTube and the whole episode on Facebook, and normally I leave that on, but because I don't want bad information to be out there where people are being accused of things that they did not do, I've removed the whole episode, okay? So I do want to go back and I want to talk about Jacob Haney, which has nothing to do with Deja Johnson, has nothing to do with the South Bowl. You was sent this video that we were made aware of and that I played it, and I also want people to know that this is happening on the streets of, and these are the people that we're paying their taxpayers to serve and protect us. Now, this is Jacob Haney. All right. It has nothing to do with Deja situation. He was caught back in December of 2023, which was last year, making a rest stop, and he calling a civilian the N-word multiple times. So I'm getting ready to play the video that was sent to you and you sent to me, and we played it on Sunday when we thought that this officer was the officer that you had in contact. But I don't want to negate the fact that he was wrong as well. So if you have kids around you, you probably want to cover their ears up, because this video is very, it's got vulgar language in it. So let me just play it real quick.
This video contains offensive language. Viewer discretion advised.
All right, there you have it. Now, that was Jacob Haney. That was this guy right here, Jacob Haney. He's also with the Arkansas State Police. And you seen where he made a stop and he used the N-word several times. Get out the car, ninja. I'm going to shoot you, ninja. And y'all know y'all can replace the ninja with the real N-word. Why do we have officers on the street who taxpayers, we pay their salary to serve and protect us, but they are calling us using derogatory statements and like the N-word? How is that tolerable? How does the Arkansas State Police justify keeping an officer like that on the payroll? Because it's just only a time where he kills one of us or hurt somebody and abuse that power. Let me go back, and I've got a lot of people kind of chiming in here, and I want to read these. Sonia Banks is saying he don't like black folks either. Now, I don't know that I could say that about either one of them. But if somebody used the N-word, does that make you a racist? If somebody used the N-word and the way that he used the N-word, does that automatically make you racist?
I think there's a context to everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the context and the scope in which we saw it in that manner, what you think?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking the public. That's what I'm asking our listeners. If someone stop you and say, "Get out of the car, ninja,"
right?
I'll shoot you, ninja. Get out of the car, ninja. Would he be a racist? Marcella Town Winston say, so sis, I wouldn't wait for no darn 69 days. I would retain an attorney because he walked up to you and grabbed your phone and then ejected you because his ego was bruised and he was very hostile and he was very hostile and threatened towards you.
Yeah. Can I just say something before
yes.
you go on real quick, Brian?
Yes.
It was hostile. It was aggressive, and like I was shaken up to the point where I forgot what year it was. Like later on in the video, I went talking about it was 2014, and also later on in the video, like if you play it and he's saying move or something, I was moving, so it wasn't like I was just standing there. You know, after he took my phone, I was confused and dazed, and I'm still trying to do what my original plan was, which was to go into the football game to see my nephews. So I was walking, still trying to find tickets, and I guess I just forgot where I was going, or I was going in the wrong direction. And that's when he came back over to me again and was just like, I told you to leave. And I was just like, and you'll see by the time I did get my phone back and started the recording back again, I had my hands up and I was just like, where do I go for tickets? I'm just trying to get into the game. I'm just trying to like be out the way. And it is, you don't expect something like that to happen. And like, I'm not even trying to be like extra dramatic here,
Right.
but like, it is hard for me to like watch it just because like I hear something in his voice and it really, I'm not gonna lie, like I had problems going to the station to even file today, simply because like when you think about it, this man is law enforcement. He could find out all kind of information about me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't really didn't even want to like speak it or put energy into it, but that's like where my mind went. I'm like, do you really want to go down here and file a complaint? And that was another reason why I put out the video with the call to action to help me identify who he was, because I was afraid to walk up into the police, you know, to the headquarters and be like, hey, this is, this happened. Can you help me identify him? I didn't know how much cooperation I would get even with that. So that was another reason why I waited.
Yeah.
But even just knowing that this man is somebody who has access to find out whatever type of information he wants about me, that's not,
That makes you nervous.
It is.
I get
it. It is.
Let me read some more comments. Sonia Banks is saying, why is this just being spoken about? Sonia, I don't know. Are you saying why is we just talking about this? Can you clear that up? Tamala saying the way he used it. Hell yeah. Tamala Amroy said he's racist the way he used it. Hell yeah. Sonia Banks is saying yep. Sonia Banks is also saying flashback. Cassandra Allen, hell yeah, that's definitely a racist remark. Yolanda Danielle saying, I'm so sorry this happened to you, Deja. I mean, these are the people that we have on the streets. These are the people that are stopping us and taking us to jail and charging us and over the laws and take an oath to serve and protect and take an oath to uphold the constitutional rights, which yours was violated. So let me ask you this, Deja. Do you plan on suing? That seems to be the common, comment. Do you plan on seeking an attorney and seeking a lawsuit, starting a lawsuit because of this?
There are conversations that have, began in regards to that, where I have been approached. So we will definitely see.
Don't know that. You're not talking about that. So you just want them to. So what I'm understanding, you want an apology. You want people to tag the ACLU.
I want accountability. I want this in the file. I want this on record so that if it does happen down the line to someone else, it's substantiated because there is a record of it. Like, because this is a pattern. Like I said in the previous podcast, that was not that man's first time exerting his power in that way. And if it wasn't his first, it's not going to be his last. And definitely if it's not on record, if it's not on file, it's definitely not going to be his last time, because something else that I found out, if you go back and look at that recording, he doesn't have a body camera on him, and he's not required to have one. So that even more makes me cautious about driving down the street at night and potentially getting pulled over by an overzealous officer who knows that nothing is going to keep him accountable. I mean, the dash cam in the car, yeah, but in the instance in the stadium, he didn't have a body camera, which was the whole reason why he didn't want me having a camera. So he knew that, if I can pretty much do whatever, I'm not going to say just do whatever I want, but he is aware of the fact that there's no body camera on him. And when he saw me with the camera, in my opinion, he felt threatened by that, and he knew that his actions were not justified. He knew that his actions were excessive and aggressive and unprofessional and in violation of the oath that he has taken. He knew all of that, and he didn't want his actions to be seen by others.
Okay. Well, that damn ham is saying, get that money, woman. They're not going to get rid of him. So get paid is what he's saying. And I'm not going to keep you long because the purpose for this episode tonight was to retract what we said yesterday, to give you great information, to give you verified information, to give you truth information. And I didn't want to be guilty of, as bad of an officer as I think Trooper Jacob Haney is. I did not, and I have a responsibility, I'll say it again, with this platform to make sure I'm giving out truthful information. And I did not want it from talking with you this afternoon, from talking to Tam McElroy, who's our podcast producer. She said, we need to take that down immediately. We took that down today, the old episode. So there's no, you can't see the old episode. So we needed to come back and straighten that out and do a retraction to that. You've given them the call of action. We still want you to share the video. The video has nothing to do with the fact that it was the wrong person. That guy still violated your right. We still want actions. So we're still asking you to share the video. All right. Make it public. Our strength are better in numbers. If we get, tens of thousands of people seeing this, asking questions, we're more powerful than just one or two people. So we still want you to get this information out, and we want you to make them hurry up, do their investigation so they can get back with you. If we're calling and asking questions, they're going to be a little bit more prompt to get this, figured out, rather than letting it be 60 to 90 days as they told you. Okay. So, again, thank you for coming on the platform. Deja, thank you for making this situation, very public. I tell everybody all the time that Unpacking the Baggage podcast, it does not belong to me. I'm just a host. This is the people podcast. And so we want information out there that's truthful. We want information, and we want to help the community by having these conversations every Sunday night. Tonight just happens to be a Monday night. Okay. So thank you for coming on, sharing with me your experience. Tell the people how they need to get in contact with, if they have any information or they have any questions, if people want to keep up with it. Give your social media handles and how they can contact you.
They can contact me right here on Facebook, like they have been doing already. Deja K. Johnson, TikTok, Real Black Carrie Bradshaw. Yeah.
Okay.
Send a comment. Just even tag me in a comment. Still would like to know who the young man is. Still would like to make sure he's okay. Still want to tag the ACLU of Arkansas to get involved, even if it's nothing more than, helping us to become aware of what our rights are so that we know and we can stand on business, anytime somebody else is in my same situation, like, stand on business about it, because that is your right. And, as far as accountability is concerned, we want this information to be documented in both of these officers' files. I want to know not even what how officers are reprimanded, but what is the training that is required? Like, I think you said, Nate, somebody in the comments, what kind of de-escalation training do y'all have? What type of emotional discipline, self-awareness, conflict management, and resolution? If there is an opportunity for me to connect and work with the Arkansas State Police or law enforcement as a communication expert, as someone who does conflict and media conflict and mediation resolution. I just want to be able to offer my services in any way that I can to bring awareness that this is not acceptable and that there's a better way to do it. And it's really as simple as communication, positive policing, building relationships, and self-awareness.
Cool. I want to shout out before we get off. I want to shout out Tristan Hobbs, the co-host of this podcast. He's traveling to New York City this weekend to style some of the people at New York Fashion. So y'all keep your prayer warriors out for him as he traveled to New York. He's not going to be with us this Sunday. We're going to have an episode that we call the Battle of the Sexes, where we're going to have a team of fellas going against a team of females, and we're going to talk politics. We're going to talk relationships. We're going to talk so many different issues, religion. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of different topics. It's going to be pretty dope. It's going to be super great. So tune your alarms to 7 o'clock on Saturday evening, where we're going to have the Battle of the Sexes. And I promise you, it's going to be really, really fun. It's going to be really dope. Again, Deja, thank you for coming on. I need to say, if you want to be a sponsor of this great podcast, we are streaming somewhere 100,000 streams a month. Okay. If you're a small business, or if you have products that you want to put in front of these people, they're buying cars, they're buying houses, they're buying hair, they're buying products. Okay. The spending and the buying power of this community that's on this podcast is astronomical. If you want to talk to them, all right, inbox me at Brian Stewart on Facebook, or you can inbox the UTB, that stands for Unpacking the Baggage podcast, on Facebook. And I also need you to send an email to Unpacking the Baggage podcast lr@gmail.com. Again, Unpacking the Baggage podcast lr@gmail.com. Or you could call our information line at 501-650-9726. I'm not going to keep you long on this Monday evening. Thank you for tuning in to us. And we will see you back this Sunday, same bat time, same bat channel. We'll see you Sunday at 7 p.m. for the Battle of the Sexes. Thank you, Deja, for spending your Monday evening with us, okay? And
Thank
keep
you,
us
Brian,
posted.
for having me.
You gotta keep us posted as what happens, okay?
Well, you gotta have me back.
Well, I promise you, you got my number. We gotta talk about this once you get the outcome. We'll come back and we'll make sure we keep the people of what happened, okay?
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
You have a good evening.